Welcome to Summers Gymnasium for today's contest between the Bryan College Lady Lions and the Fighting Koalas of Columbia University College. Excuse me. Koalas coming here from Columbia, South Carolina. Had to move this thing a day early because of expected weather. Looks like we may get snow. We may not. As Autumn Davis starts us off with a three-point attempt. No good. Fighting for the rebound, and Alyssa Petty comes up with it. So offensive rebound already for the Lions. Out to Molly Brown. She takes a long two-pointer. No good. Rebounded again by Alyssa Petty. Fancy move and converts on that. So great job, Alyssa and the Lions, for converting there. Columbia down quick with a nice floater by Anaya Muhammad to tie this thing up early. Autumn Davis will have the control of the ball as they bring it down the court. Looking for someone to get across half-court line, and they find it. Attempt by Katie Farrell, no good, and it's going to be out of bounds on the Lions. On the court to start out for the Lions, we have Molly Brown, got Autumn Davis, Katie Farrell, Alyssa Petty, and Sydney Neal, all the way from New Zealand, celebrating her senior day today here in Summers Gymnasium. And we got a travel on the Koalas. That's on number 35, Natalie Pitts, and that'll be a turnover early. Katie Farrell doing the inbounding for the Lions. Autumn Davis trying to set up the offense. Bounce it back out to Sydney Neal. Thought about it for a second. Molly Brown will attempt the three. Long three and good. Molly Brown from downtown. And sometimes it's a great indicator when she's hot early, it stays that way. And a steal by Alyssa Petty, her high school teammate. And they are rolling as the Koalas will have to take a timeout with 8 minutes left to go. And we will be right back. We are back after the timeout, and a tie ball game from 2 points quickly became a 5-point lead for the Lions as they got on the board in a hurry with a three by Molly Brown and a quick turnover and score by Alyssa Petty. And it's 7-2 here in Summers Gymnasium on senior day for the Bryan Lions. The Koalas come into this matchup with a 10-11 overall record, 6-7 in conference. The Lions sit at the top of the conference, tied up with Milligan as they put this pressure on the Koalas, and now that pressure is going to pay off as they can't get across half court in 5 seconds. Another turnover, and the Lions are getting on them early. Molly Brown wanted it again, but a little too much defense on her right there. She's going to try to set up this offense. Gets out to Sydney Neal into Katie Farrell. Farrell's going to bounce it back out to Autumn, but I thought it might have been tipped. Either way, it was a turnover on the Lions. Koala's ball. This time the Koalas will break the press, at least to get it across the half-court line. known for playing tight defense from start to finish. A little fumble there, and that's going to be a 2-point attempt and rebounded by Katie Farrell on the miss. Molly Brown will take it quickly down the court over to Sydney Neal. 3-point attempt. Good from New Zealand to Summers Gymnasium. Sydney Neal connects right there. And as Alyssa Petty finds her foot to kick it out of bounds, the Koalas will reset. Tough defense for the Lions. Koalas get it across half court. Bouncing the ball around. Finds Natalie Pitts underneath. She's going to go up and be fouled by Katie Farrell. I know I complained about the numbers on the away team's jersey last time. This time it's purple on black, and so I may struggle a little bit. Try to find the names of these Koalas. But Natalie Pitts is on the line shooting 2 for Columbia as she makes the first one. And she'll convert on both, so 10-4 Lions. And we'll see some subs for the Koalas. Not yet for the Lions. We'll probably expect to see the patented 5-on, 5-off. Will he do it in the strict 3-group rotation like we have done in recent games? We're not sure. We'll see. Autumn Davis over to Molly Brown up top. Sydney Neal into Katie Farrell, and she's going to find Alyssa Petty underneath and bounce it back out to Farrell. Farrell, loose ball. Koalas come up with it. Going down court, pass underneath, and we got a foul by Neal as she pretty much had an open basket, so probably a terrible decision right then. At least make her earn it by shooting 2 on the line. First attempt good, second one up, and it's good as well. 100% from the free throw line so far this game for the Koalas. Neal into Farrell. Farrell drives and will make the basket. Good physical play right there by Katie Farrell, the grad student. Will be honored in Senior Day a little bit later today. Got a wide open 3 on the corner, but no good. But rebounded by the Koalas because it didn't hit anything, and that's going to be Koalas' ball. I think we grabbed the ball and may have had a foot on the line. I think that's probably the call right there. So we'll have an inbound ball. Koalas underneath, finds a man, and that's good. That's number 32, Chandrea Pringle. Lions trying to get some momentum back in their favor as Koala's got a little something going for them so far. Molly Brown with the 3, no good. Rebounded and tipped out of bounds by the Lions, so Koala's ball. Heavy pressure for the Lions. They do cross midcourt. And we're going to have and now they're going to step back over. So another turnover in the middle of the gym. And the Lions have been good at that so far. Autumn Davis from the top of the key over to Sydney Neal. That was a pass, but I don't know if Alyssa Petty was ready for it. It was a little bit long. So Koalas will take over again. And the Lions will get back to the pressure, see if they can make something happen. Chandrea Pringle in, and that'll be a turnover as Sydney Neal intercepts it. And we'll take it down to Molly Brown, finds it underneath, and a hard foul right there on Molly Brown. I think that's Naya Muhammad on the foul. So Molly Brown on the line. Koalas are coming off a 2-game winning streak as they have beaten Truett McConnell and Montreat in their last 2 games as Molly misses the first one. Koalas trying to keep it going here in Summers Gymnasium. 12-8 Lions, and now it's 13-8 as Molly Brown will convert on her second one. And pressure, but they do get it. That's Pringle over in the corner. Over to Wilder, and stolen by Autumn Davis, and she's going to take it coast to coast and miss. Well, that ball bounced around the rim and went everywhere but in as the Koalas will press down the court, and that's going to be out of bounds. They're going to say on the Lions. Crislin Wilder on the inbound. She'll throw it up top to Muhammad. Wilder with the 3, and good from the corner. So 13-11, this lead has been cut to a 2-point close one. And as we get ready to see a line change, this group needs to get something going. And Sydney Neal from the corner, and she'll nail that one. Great momentum shift right there by Sydney Neal. And that's what we needed. Great passing by and finding your open man. And the tough jumper right there. And they're going to convert on that one. That was Wilder with a mid-range 2-pointer. Molly Brown's going to reset and get something going back for the Lions. She'll give it up to Autumn Davis. Over to Sydney Neal and to Alyssa Petty, who will attempt the 3-point. No good. Rebounded Koalas. Driving in. Not much coverage there, and she's going to, looks like she'll draw the charge. So great job by Alyssa Petty right there of standing her ground, and we're going to see 5 new Lady Lions on the court right here. I'll identify them as Ruby Cox, Leah Stinnett, Ellie Graham, looks like Ashlyn Plott, and Kaylin Walls. Inside to Ruby Cox. She's going to bounce it back out to Ellie Graham. Stinnett drives, and we'll get manhandled down there as we have a lot of Koala arms on her, and that will send her to the line. Leah Stinnett will make her first one. And she'll make them both. So 18-13, 2 minutes and 56 seconds left to go in this first period. The Lions have been playing pretty good defense. Honestly, the Koalas have just been hitting shots so far this game. I don't have their percentage right in front of me, but they're doing a great job of finding the bucket, and that'll draw a foul on Kaylin Walls. That's going to be on Natalie Pitts. They're going to take the ball out of bounds. Tipped by Ellie Graham. And we got a 3-second in the lane call, I believe. We're not sure what we have. seemed like the whistle was blown before the ball even went out of bounds off Ellie Graham's tip, so I'm not sure what they're calling here. It's not just a straight turnover on an out-of-bounds play. I'm not going to be able to hear what the officials are saying down the court, and my basketball knowledge is too limited to guess what this is. So they're going to, either way, they're going to redo the inbound pass, as Ellie Graham's height advantage was useful in the first one, and now tipped out of bounds by the Lions. That was on Leah Stinnett, so we're going to deja vu it here again, as Chrislyn Wilder will try to get over the long reach of Ellie Graham. She's going to do that by throwing it deep. Oh, wow, Wilder with the foul drawn on her by, that's Ashlyn Plott. Didn't seem like much contact, but apparently there was, and a little unorthodox is they're going to send nobody to get the rebound for the Koalas here. But the way they've been shooting free throws, there's no need to. If I'm not mistaken, that's 5 for 5 for the Koalas. Hopefully I can jinx them here, but I cannot. 6 for 6 on the stripe for Columbia today. Just knocking them down, and that's what's keeping them in this game. 18 to 15. Lions lead out to Kaylin Walls. Over to Plott in the corner. Ellie Graham from the top, driving in a little bit, finds Leah Stinnett. She's going to drive, and that's going to be out of bounds, tipped on the Koalas, so inbound pass coming for the Lions. Finds Ruby Cox underneath. Oh, good look, but just couldn't convert. That's going to be out of bounds on the Lions. Koala's ball. 2 minutes remaining in the first. 18-15 Lions. I'm not going to say the Lions have been playing their best ball this period, but I give a lot of credit to the Koalas for making just a lot of shots, and all their free throws. Looks like that will be missed on Muhammad and rebounded by the Lions. Leah Stinnett taking it down court. Oh, and a little bit of stutter step right there. She thought she had someone underneath, and then they got covered real quick, and she tried to readjust, but not quick enough. Wilder outside to Muhammad. Muhammad tipped by the Lions, but recovered by the Koalas, and that's going to be a foul on Leah Stinnett. That is already the Lions' 5th foul of the game, so that will send the Koalas to the line here in this first period. And they're going to remain hot thus far. Hits them both. 8 for 8 for the Koalas at the charity stripe. Very impressive so far. And that's what you got to do to win ball games and stay in ball games with better teams is capitalize on those opportunities, and they have done that. A lot of times, fouling the opponent might be the play, but it doesn't seem to be right now the way they're hot at the line. And the Lions will miss the 2-point attempt, but get their own rebound, and Kaylin Walls will go back up. Missed shot, rebounded Koalas, bouncing out, bringing it down the court. No time to press right there. As Wilder's going to take that, give it out to Muhammad, inside to Pringle. Little runner right there, try to get a floater in, no good. Rebounded Ellie Graham. She's going to bring it down. Find Ashlyn Plott, no good 3-point attempt. We got a foul inside. Not sure who it's going to be on right now. It's gonna be on the koalas. And we're going to have a line change, 5 on, 5 off, and this time it's going to be the same 5 starters. So I know last game against Brenau, we saw a 3-group rotation, but we're going to see that starting 5 of Petty, Brown, Davis, Farrell, and Neal back on the court right here. And Autumn Davis will do the inbounding. It'll be off number 4, Micaiah Thompson's foot and go out of bounds again, so lines will reset. Into Farrell, back to Davis. Out to Neal, back to Farrell. Farrell spins. No good on the underhanded layup attempt. Koalas will recover. Petty with the pressure, the lone pressure that's full court. Wilder will break it across the line. Got 3 seconds left to go in the period, and we got a travel call, and we got 1.1 second left to go in the period. So we're going to have a heave and a quick shot right here. Molly Brown, Katie Farrell, they're going to go down the court, and hopefully they can catch the Hail Mary and turn around really quickly. Alyssa Petty will do the throw-in, which probably can throw it farther than anybody in this gym right now. That was a shot, and it's going to be tipped by the Koalas. They're going to get that off. That was actually impressive steal and attempt by the Koalas. But we're going to end this first period in a tight one, 18-17. Lions do lead. Koalas got momentum. We'll be back. As we get ready to start this second period here in Summers Gymnasium, I'm going to do my very best to not be distracted. The Bryan baseball team is playing Georgia Gwinnett. I coached the Bryan baseball team for the past 14 years, and now my man Jordan Day is taking over, and they're down playing one of possibly the best team in the country, Georgia Gwinnett. They just lost 6-5 earlier today on a walk-off. Played a very good game right now. And so we got it kind of on a screen here. But I promise I'm not going to be distracted. I'm going to be Autumn Davis with the ball and drive. And that's going to be tipped and foul and brought out of bounds on the Lions, so Koala's ball. Lions back to the press. We thought we had a travel, but no call there. Pringle over, and she's going to toss it. It's going to be tipped by, I think, Molly Brown. And so it'll stay Koala's ball. Wilder on the inbound, trying to find somebody underneath but can't, so she's going to go deep. That's Micaiah Thompson. Throwing it up in the air to Pringle, over to Wilder. Back to Thompson. That's going to be Muhammad at the corner. And great job by Alyssa Petty to knock that one away, recovered by the Lions. Molly Brown's going to take it down the court. She's going to find Petty underneath. And great move that you can't outstrong Alyssa Petty. There is nobody in the country on the female basketball side that can do it, and I'd say half the men. She is, I say this every time, she's impressive with her strength and athleticism and aggressiveness. She's fun to watch play, and she's just a freshman, so I get to see 4 years of it. Her teammate also on the court from high school, Molly Brown, also a freshman. 4 years of that duo is going to be great. The only graduating senior we have on the court right now is Katie Farrell as a grad student. 3-point attempt by the Koalas, no good, rebounded by them, but picked off by Autumn Davis. She's going to get it to Alyssa Petty. Spin move, and that was a block, and that was a great block by the Koalas, but I think it hit the bottom of the backboard, so I think they're going to call it out of bounds. I guess they did call a foul. I mean, Alyssa Petty went down on the ground, and if she's going to be on the ground, it was 100% a foul because you got to hit her hard to get her on the ground. She'll make the first free throw attempt. And she'll knock them both down, so great job responding to the Koalas' hot free throw shooting as the Koalas will take it quickly down the court. Tried to do a little shake and bake, couldn't convert. Katie Davis with the rebound over to Katie Farrell, excuse me. I was looking at Autumn Davis. Great job. Alyssa Petty right there. 24-17. Recovered by the Koalas. Pringle with the shot with a long two. Rebounded by Molly Brown. Down to Autumn Davis. It's one-on-one right here. She's going to go up and make it. No foul, even though she went to the ground, but great job, and that's going to be call for a timeout on the Koalas. So we will take one and be right back. Back in action here at Summers Gymnasium, 26-17, Lions lead, 8 minutes left to go in the half. Will commit to their full court press, and it pays off as it's going to be a turnover on the Koalas. This full court press, you can kind of tell how it's going to work for the game early on. Some teams just have a great game plan against it, and some teams struggle with it. The Lions have created at least 3 turnovers, if not 4, on this press so far. Katie Farrell with the 3-point attempt, and she's going to nail it. Great job, Katie Farrell, to extend the lead, 29-17. Press is back on. Koalas break it, but still trying to find somebody. Great attempt by Autumn Davis. She goes all out, and Molly Brown with the hard foul. She didn't mean to, but she drilled her. Inbound Koalas over to Thompson. Thompson out to Wilder. and struggle for the ball. That is Pringle and Molly Brown, and it's going to be a jump ball, and that's going to stay with the Koalas. Finds Pringle in the corner. 3-point shot, no good. Rebounded Katie Farrell. Molly Brown tipped by the Koalas, and I think if she had let it go, it would have stayed with Lions ball, but she tried to make the save out of bounds and couldn't quite do it. So turnover on the Lions down underneath the basket, and Koalas are going to have a chance to respond here as its Lions have regained some of the momentum here, and that's going to be a long pass and no good for the completion there, and it's going to be Lions ball at midcourt. Davis into Petty. She will drive and convert. Great job. Great move by Alyssa Petty right there. 31-17 Lions. Oh, yeah. That was a trip, and I thought they were about to blow a whistle, but oh my goodness, Molly Brown. What a shot. It was almost behind. It was almost a reverse. I don't know what you would call that, honestly. It was completely under control, but it was funky. And she will, in the end, she will make it. But what I was going to say is we had a Koala trip that was O'Brien. No, excuse me, that was Warebon trip midcourt, but it was just on the court's fault. That's going to be underneath to Warebon. No good. Rebounded Lions. Down court to Petty. 2-on-1 here, and they're going to foul her hard. She tried to go up for that, and that was just two bodies against Alyssa Petty. She's going to be slow getting up right here. Can't phase her. She's up and ready to shoot some free throws. She'll hit the first one. Ablont talking to his captain down low, giving him a game plan. And Petty will stay perfect at the line today as she converts on both. 35-17 Lions. 6 minutes remaining in the half. Long pass cross court. That's going to be caught, and we're going to have a foul call against Molly Brown, and it seemed like the whistle blew before she even got to her. I mean, there was contact. It was just a very early whistle, so I thought it might have been on something else, but it's not. Foul on Molly Brown. Inside, mid-range jumper. No good. Rebounded Farrell out to Petty. Petty will drive on Wilder, and great job as she converts that. As Autumn Davis steals the inbound pass. She's going to go up. Oh, and they're going to call a double dribble right there. There was a lot of bodies underneath, so I couldn't get a clear look of it to verify if that was a good call or not. I'll make sure to let you know if all the calls are good or not. So I have such a great angle up here. And another steal by the Lions. Out to Davis, and she will convert on this and get the foul, and so she's going to the line for a three-point attempt. Great job, Lions defense, as they are playing aggressive ball here in the second period. Rebounded Petty. Great job out to Davis. What a great behind. That was incredible ball play right there. Alyssa Petty saved the ball from going out of bounds, threw a behind her back pass to Autumn Davis, and conversion. That's a great ball movement and athleticism we're seeing on the court right now. Matt Ballant wanted back across the court as it looked like when it was tipped on the Lions side, but there's going to be no good and rebound by the Lions out to Petty. Stolen by the Koalas. And that's going to be a travel right there on LaJane Jalab. I apologize if I said that wrong. So fresh 5 for the Lions. Zelly Graham will do the inbounding to Leah Stinnett. Kaylin Walls, Ruby Cox, and Ashlyn Plott on the court as well. The way they do these rotations, keep the legs fresh and the energy high. Stinnett out to Walls. Walls underneath to Ruby Cox, out to Ellie Graham. Ellie Graham with the drive and the conversion. She'll make that one. And the Lions are starting to pull away here, 43-17. It quietly got a big lead, primarily because of the great defense these ladies are playing here tonight. Long pass, out of bounds, Koalas, Lions ball. Stinnett will do the ball handling this possession. Out to Ashlyn Plott. She'll make a three-point attempt. No good. Rebounded Ellie Graham. Back to Plott. Great job finding her underneath for the two-point layup. And we're going to have a timeout for the Koalas. They try to reset right here, and we will be right back. And as we come out of the timeout with a 45-17 lead for the Lions with 3:36 remaining in the half here at Summers Gymnasium. It was a little bit back and forth early. Lions got off to a good lead, and then Koalas fought back, and Lions have done that. They've done that. Leah Stinnett with the steal. No good, but offensive rebound. That's going to be Kaylin Walls, and she'll get fouled, so she'll go shoot two. And that has been the strength of the Lions so far this game, is great defense, creating turnovers, putting pressure on these fighting Koalas, and trying to take the fight out of them. Walls will miss the first one. But she'll hit the second one. 46-17. Koalas find Werebon underneath. She'll bounce it back out. And stolen by Kaylin Walls. Out to Ruby Cox. No good underneath. Blocked by the Koalas. Rebounded by the Koalas. Wild pass, so it's going to be a tussle. Lions will come up with it. Finds Leah Stinnett. Finds Ruby Cox at 3. That's not her game, but she's going to do it anyway. And no good right there. Ruby Cox more of an underneath player, but she was so wide open she had to take it. That's another steal by the Lions. Out to Leah Stinnett, and she's going to get they're just going to call it a block shot, and it could have been, but she went down hard. So Lions ball. That's going to be a jump ball. The other day we saw about 12 of them. That's our second of the day. This time the possession arrow favors the Lions. Out to Kaylin Walls. Walls over to Graham in the corner. Inside to Ruby Cox. Back out to Leah Stinnett. Stinnett with a 3. No good. Rebounded Graham. She'll go up and get fouled. So she'll go to the line shooting 2. She'll hit the first one. And she'll make them both. 48-17 Lions. 2 minutes remaining in the half. Outside to Werebon. And that's got to be backcourt, and it will be. They weren't. One official wasn't sure. The other one was. They're going to talk about it a little bit. And for some reason, they're giving the ball back to the Koalas. And I can't say I know what that call was, because it looked like they definitely crossed half court and then passed it back. But from my angle, maybe it was just down the line and maybe it was tipped out of bounds. Either way, Koalas ball inbounding to Jalab. Stolen by the Lions, recovered by the Koalas. That's going to be a foul on the Lions. That sometimes comes with the territory when you play aggressive defense. And we do have a new set. I forgot to mention 5 new ones. Autumn Davis, the only one that has been out there. But we also got Sophie McIntruff, Brooklyn Stinnett, Olivia Hall, and Kelsey Johnson. And that is the first missed free throw of the game, as we are almost at halftime for the Koalas. They've done a tremendous job from the charity stripe. And she's going to double down and miss both of them. Rebounded McIntruff. Autumn Davis will take the ball down the court. She finds Olivia Hall for 3 points. She wants to shoot it and nails it. 3-pointer, Olivia Hall. A lot of 3-point shooters on the court. This looks like the shooting group right here is Hall, Stinnett, Johnson. They all like shooting from long range, and that one's going to be a foul on Olivia Hall as she tries to make a layup. She'll go to the line. McIntruff also will shoot from deep Autumn Davis likes to drive. But outside of this, this is a lineup right here. 5 on the court that could score a lot of points really quick as Olivia Hall make her first free throw there. The Lions are shooting today. Already at 53 points in the first half, but with a minute left to go. The Koalas haven't converted on a shot in, I would say, at least 7 minutes, and that one right there is going to jinx me, or I jinx them, as that is made by Lauren Werbon and fouled, and so she will go for the line, go to the line, trying to make it 3 on the play. Koalas with only 1 in the box. Rebounded Olivia Hall in the miss. Out to McIntruff. Good defense by the Koalas. That's going to create a turnover. It's going to be Muhammad taking it down. Finds Werbon. Finds Werbon for the floater and the conversion right there for the Koalas. So a little bit momentum as we go into the half. 25 seconds left. Brooklyn Stinnett. This just feels, well, Autumn Davis. I was going to say it feels like a 3-point attempt right here, and Olivia Hall's going to do it and miss. Rebounded Stinnett, 12 seconds left. Kelsey Johnson with another 3, and she'll drill that one. You can't give this group 2 chances. At the buzzer, no good, and the Lions will go into the halftime 56-21. All Lions in Summers Gymnasium today. Back in action here at Summers Gymnasium. Lady Lions up 56-21 as we start this second half over the Columbia Fighting Koalas. It was all Lions in the first half, and it's going to be a missed shot by the Koalas. Rebounded Molly Brown. Great footwork, Alyssa Petty. Looked like a foul. Wasn't called. She missed that one, but probably because there's a lot of body on her. But Koalas are going to drive down, and that's going to be Lauren Warebon that is drawing the foul right here as we start this second half. On the court for the Lions as we start this period, the third period, is Autumn Davis, Molly Brown, Katie Farrell, Alyssa Petty, and all the way from New Zealand, Sydney Neal. And Sydney's mom, Tanya, is listening from across the ocean. So shout out to Tanya. We're glad you got to join us here on Lions Live and see Sydney play on senior night here for the Lady Lions. And then she gets the rebound right there, right on time. Molly Brown doing the ball handling for the Lions in this half. Neal into Katie Farrell. Great pass, great conversion, 2 points. Back at it with the scoring. Tipped by Molly Brown, out of bounds. Koalas will inbound. Finds Pringle. Outside to Warebon. Warebon with the three. No good. Rebounded Lions. Neal will take it up. Over to Petty. Out to Molly Brown. She's going to shoot the three. No good. Rebound, Katie Farrell. And out of bounds on the Lions, even though the Koalas tipped it. So that's how it goes sometimes. Stolen for a second, but looked like a kickball on Petty. Muhammad will do the inbounding for the Koalas. In the Gaddis. Gaddis over to Thompson. Thompson underneath to Pringle. Blocked by Farrell. Rebounded, came up with by the Koalas. Tipped again. Autumn Davis finds the basketball outside to Petty. Petty will shoot the three. No good. Oh, we got it out of bounds on the Koalas. She tried to save it and hit it off Katie Farrell, and she just wore it like a champ, didn't even flinch. And it's going to be Lions ball. Attempted pass to Molly Brown, tipped by Anaya Muhammad, out of bounds on the Koalas. We'll pass again from the other side of the court this time. Into Farrell underneath the basket. Spin move and good. Layup 60-22 Lions. They're going to have to get it quick. Nope, it's going to be backcourt for the Koalas. Turnover with 8 minutes left to go in the third period. Autumn Davis to Neal, inside to Farrell. Farrell bounces it back out to Molly Brown, over to Davis. We got some kind of call. Looks like it was probably 3 seconds on Alyssa Petty underneath. It was a lot of bouncing around, passing on the outside, and that'll lead to the turnover. So Lauren Warebon, that'll be Micaiah Thompson. And that's Warebon with the miss. Rebounded Farrell. Neal drives. She's going to find a Petty underneath and blocked from behind. That was a clean, good block by Lauren Werebon, but it's going to be tipped out of bounds, so it'll be Lions ball. No, it looks like it was a foul, but not on the block. It was after that. I was looking down in my notes to make sure I had the right number and didn't see who the foul was on, but Katie Farrell's shooting two, and she'll hit the first one. And she'll make them both, so that'll extend the lead to 40 points here in the third. The Lions will not stop playing hard defense no matter the score. That's Lions basketball, as they almost created a turnover, but Koalas recover outside the Petty. Short jumper, tough shot, rebounded Farrell, and we got something underneath. It looks like it's just going to be a stoppage in the game as we have a player that may have hit her head hard. I think that's Micaiah Thompson. Yeah, I believe that is who it is. So she'll be subbed in for. Looks like she either hit the court or got an elbow to the face. But Chrislyn Wilder will come in for her. Outside to Autumn Davis, across court to Sydney Neal. Neal to Farrell underneath. Little juke move, block. Petty tries to hit it off a Koala. No good. It is going to be recovered by them and taken quickly down the court. That's going to be Wilder for the three. No good. Rebounded Molly Brown. And she wants to go all the way with it. Can't convert. Thought she got fouled. Alyssa Petty will get the rebound, and looks like she'll be fouled on that. I think Molly stopped for a second thinking it was an obvious foul, but wasn't called. But they made up for it with the next attempt as Alyssa Petty will go to the line. She'll hit the first one. And she'll make it a 42-point lead here in the third period. Underneath, little short jumper, rebounded by Farrell. She's going to slow it down and give it to Molly. Underneath the Petty. Great pass by Farrell. Can't convert. A lot of body contact, but no call right there. Outside three-point attempt. No good. Rebounded Sydney Neal. Tanya, if you're listening, Sydney Neal is probably shooting three-pointers or shooting in the gym more than any other player on the team. My office is right by the gym, and I see her. It'd be a good argument to say she's the hardest worker on the team. So glad that's paying off for her here with a successful end of her career here. That's Autumn Davis. Underneath the Alyssa Petty, fantastic ball movement, and she'll convert. And that'll lead to a Koala timeout. And so we will take a break and be right back here in Summers Gymnasium. Back out of the timeout, it'll be Koala's ball with a 22-66 deficit. It's been all Lions here in Summers today. 5 minutes left to go in the third period. Koalas had the hot hand earlier. They're making a lot of shots and all their free throws, and the Lions D has just prevailed since then. It's like they switched the gear and said, we're taking this game over, and they have done that. And out of that timeout, as the Koalas missed that layup and rebounded by Ruby Cox, passed it over to Ellie Graham. The other three girls on the court for her, or with her, is Kaylin Walls, Leah Stinnett, and Ashlyn Plott. Also not a terrible three-point shooting group right here. Ruby Cox likes to play underneath, and she'll try to save that from going out of the bounds. Koalas will recover. That's going to be going down the court by and missed offensive rebound. Can't convert on that one. Ellie Graham will come up with it. Over to Leah Stinnett, and she's going to be hit hard and no call there. There's been a lot of no calls with bodies on the floor down there, and I can appreciate it. And there's another no call. So it goes both ways. It'll go both ways. I'm not just being a homer right here. That Ellie Graham got a lot of contact there, but they're just going to call it out of bounds on the Lions. And we are going to have a timeout as we will reset right here. So we'll be right back on Lions Live. Back in action here as the Koalas will take the ball underneath their own basket, trying to inbound, going deep out to the three-point line to Muhammad. Muhammad will go over to Wilder. Leah Stinnett tipped the ball away, but recovered by the Koalas. They're going to take a tough jump shot, but convert, in my opinion, luckily. But either way, it's a basket. 66-24. Ellie Graham over here to Ashlyn Plott. Out to Kaylin Walls. Leah Stinnett inside to Ruby Cox. Ruby will spin. And again, some contact, and again, a body on the floor. It's like no contact underneath our own goal is getting anything called, really. But, you know, sometimes that happens, especially in a 66-24 game. That's going to be stolen by Leah Stinnett. Over to Walls, inside to Ellie Graham. Great ball movement right there, and the conversion to extend their lead, 68-24. And we'll have a substitution as Olivia Hall comes in for Ruby Cox. I'm not sure. It looked like it may have just been a normal substitution, but it was kind of in the middle of the play, so could have been some extenuating circumstances here. Wilder with the ball. Over to the corner. On the drive is Minnie Griffin. Griffin up and no good. Rebounded Lions. Koala's trying to press. Lions will break it easy. Outside to Olivia Hall. She's going to reset, give it to Kaylin Walls from three-point line. No good. Rebounded Koalas. Stolen immediately by Leah Stinnett. Feels like that's the 40th one of the game as she goes underneath to Walls, and she's going to convert on that one. So the Koalas have no breathing room, as they haven't since about 8 minutes left to go in the first period when the tide turned for the Lions and went all Brian's way. Tough, long 2-point attempt, no good, but offensive rebound by the Koalas. That's going to be Minnie Griffin underneath, and then there's going to be a foul. Not sure who that was on. Could have been Olivia Hall. Could have been Ashlyn Plott. Excuse me. That foul is on Kaylin Walls. A lot of bodies. I've already blamed my eyes enough, and so I don't need to just keep going back to the same well. But pink on gray is just getting me. Now I know these girls, and so I have no real excuse. But sometimes they just kind of, when the bodies are all together, it's a little tougher. Koalas will miss the first, make the second. Olivia Hall will be doing the ball handling for this possession. Outside to Stennett, into Walls, into Ellie Graham, and then to Kaylin Walls, who will make the layup. Minute 45 left here in the third period. Koala's trying to find some breathing room, and they really can't. Like I said, with this rotation, there's a lot of energy and a lot of freshness for every girl that comes on the court, and so you don't really get a break if you're the opponent in Matt Ballot's defense. That's going to be an errant pass right there, recovered by the Koalas. That's going to be Minnie Griffin, who will go coast to coast and be fouled as she attempts a layup. So she'll go to the line shooting two. Minnie Griffin on the line for the Koalas and makes her first one. Are we off? Missed, rebounded by the Lions. That'll be Kaylin Walls over to Olivia Hall. Outside, Ashlyn Plott with a long three-point attempt. No good. Tipped out of bounds by the Lions. It'll be Koala's ball. Minute left to go in the third period. 'Can they hear me? I apologize if we're having some technical difficulties here. If you can hear me, I'll try to do a play-by-play. If there's no video, Ellie Graham is a missed shot by the Koalas. Ellie Graham will take the ball down for the Lions outside to Olivia Hall at the corner. Across to Leah Stennett. Leah Stennett over to Ellie Graham. Three-point attempt. No good. Rebounded Kaylin Walls underneath. She'll go back up for it and be fouled. So she'll be back at the line shooting two with 27 seconds left to go in the third period. 72-26 Lions. Walls will hit her first one. And she'll miss the second one as it bounces around the rim, rebounded by the Koalas. Taken down court by Crislin Wilder. Wilder underneath, little short-range jumper. That's going to roll around the rim and find a favorable roll for the Koalas. 73-28, 11 seconds left. Olivia Hall with the ball. She's going to drive. Bounce it back out, and little bobble right there, turnover. Koalas get the ball. They're going quickly down the court with 1 second left. They're going to throw up a little layup, but no good. And so that'll bring us to the end of the third period. It is 73-28 Lions. When we return on Lions Live, we will start the fourth. As we start the fourth period here in Summers Gymnasium, it's been all Lions today as we see a mostly new five. Olivia Hall will remain on the court, and Sydney Neal will join her along with Kelsey Johnson, who will about take this three-point attempt. No good. Rebounded by Sophie McInturf and put up there. Great job, great conversion right there. And she is on the court, joined by Brooklyn Stinnett. That's your five ladies right now. As we start the last of this ball game, this AAC conference matchup on senior day here in Summers Gymnasium. Rebounded by the Koalas and put up on the second attempt. That's good. 75-30. Sydney Neal doing the ball handling. Be into Kelsey Johnson. Outside to McInturf. To Brooklyn Stinnett. Three-point attempt. Good. That's what she does. And she'll knock that one down to extend the lead. This is a very fresh set of legs out here, so a lot of energy, a lot of strong defense. They will find an open man for a three-point attempt by Crislin Wilder. Neal out to Johnson. Thought about the long three. Gives it to Hall for the three. No good. Rebounded Koalas. Down the court quickly is Stenton, I believe, and that's no good. Rebounded by Brooklyn Stinnett for the Lions. She's going to slow it down a little bit. So we reset, but we're going to give it out to Neal. Neal into Johnson. Johnson underneath. Her game is outside the perimeter. She's going to go to McInturf. McInturf finds an open Olivia Hall. Three-point shot, no good. Rebounded Lions. That's Sydney Neal. That's no good. Also another offensive rebound by McInturf. And finally, the Koalas will take the ball. 7:46 left to go in this game. Koalas trying to make something happen, trying to find an open target, but cannot. Look like travel, no call. That's going to be a, look like a block, but no call. That's going to be a foul on Sydney Neal underneath. Trying to see who is at the free throw line for the Koalas. Got a ponytail over the number, so I don't really have a shot at this right now. She will miss the first, make the second. McInturf from three. No good. Rebounded Koalas. Kind of a wild shot there. Stinnett went for the block and got a little bit of the body, so we're going to be back at the free throw line for the Koalas. And that's going to be number 00, Jada O'Brien. And she will hit her free throw attempt. And she'll make both as the Koalas get back on their free throw hot streak that they were on at the beginning of this game. Olivia Hall out to McInturf. Over in the corner, Brooklyn Stinnett. She'll shoot another three. Made the last one, misses that one. Rebounded Koalas. I believe that is Natalie Pitts or Cecilia Burke. A lot of attempts by the Koalas. They keep getting offensive rebounds. They'll get another one and go back up, and on their fourth chance, they're going to get fouled. Seems like a heavy chunk of their scoring has been from the free throw line this game. As we'll see A new 5 for the Lions. Excuse me. Looks like a new 4, as I believe Sydney Neal will stay on the court. We got Katie Farrell in, Ashlyn Plott, Ellie Graham, and I believe that is Leah Stinnett guarding around half court. And make the first, miss the second one. Rebounded Kay Farrell. Out to Neal. Neal to Graham. Outside to Plott. 3-point shot. No good. Rebounded underneath. Gives it to Farrell. She goes up. A lot of contact. No call. Lions come up with another rebound. Back to Farrell. Ball's bouncing around like a pinball, but the Koalas come up with it, and they're going to drive hard down the court, but then slow things up a little bit. Frizzle and Wilder. With the ball back to Wilder. She's going to drive, find some contact underneath, and there's going to be a foul call. There were 2 Lady Lions near her, but I think the call is going to go against Sydney Neal. That's going to be the 4th on the Lions for the period. Deep pass to the 3-point line. Back to Wilder. Wilder to O'Brien. Loses it temporarily, regains possession, drives and fouls as she makes that shot. So she'll go to the line shooting for 3. And we'll have Jada or Jada O'Brien at the stripe. She will make the first one for these Columbia Koalas. The Fighting Koalas. She'll miss the second one, but rebounded by her teammate, and we're going to have a jump ball. Possession arrow stays with the Lions. Well, they're going to give it to the Koalas. The possession arrow on the scoreboard said Lions. The officials disagree, but they're going to talk about it for a second. They're going to stick with their call. Now the possession arrow, there you go. Now it needs to switch back. So the officials knew. Scoreboard might not have, but the officials knew. That's number 24, Courtney McClaney. Rebounded by Ellie Graham. And now we're going to have a jump ball, and this one will go with the Lions. We just wanted to make sure we got one of those on this position. Bryan baseball team in a battle with Georgia Gwinnett, 4-3 in the 5th. Down in Lawrenceville, Georgia, as Katie Farrell goes underneath, and she's fouled. We've had a lot of free throw attempts today. Been a hefty amount of fouls, and there's been a hefty amount of no calls, and I guess I can't blame them, or else we would never leave the free throw line. The grad student makes her first one. Misses the second one. Rebounded Koalas. Wilder with the ball. Tipped by, looks like Ashlyn Plott, and they'll go out of bounds. And with that, we will take a timeout with 5 minutes remaining to go in the game. 79-38 Lions. back in action here in Summers Gymnasium. 5 minutes remaining in the game. 79-38 Lions favor. Qual is underneath. And, man, that was a little bit ticky-tacky right there. Katie Farrell didn't like it. I didn't either. I don't blame you. Not only would I have said that was a block, I'd say it was nothing. I just think it was a clean attempt at a layup. Either way, that's going to put O'Brien back on the charity stripe here as she makes the first one. And misses the second one. Rebounded Ellie Graham. Graham out to Plott. Plott drives. Little floater. Beautiful shot right there as she converts on that. About a 10, 12-foot floater right there, and that's going to be tipped by Stinnett, recovered by the Koalas. Bryant with the miss right there, rebounded Katie Farrell out to kind of no one. Ellie Graham was trying to attempt it. It's going to be recovered by, Leah Stinnett, but they're going to call a charge on that as O'Brien had her feet firmly planted. So it's going to be Koala's ball with 4 minutes and 10 seconds left to go. Lost the ball a little bit, recovered by the Lions. We're going to have another jump ball as we're going to struggle for it, and that's going to stick with Columbia. And with 4 minutes left, we'll see a new 5. Will this be the 5 that finishes the game? I'm not sure. New 4, Ellie Graham's going to stay out there. Brooklyn Stinnett, Olivia Hall, Sophie McIntroff, and Kelsey Johnson's going to join her. Trying to go underneath, nobody there. Guarded well as Brooklyn Stinnett comes up with that errant pass. Into Johnson, outside the Ellie Graham, into Hall. It's going to be tipped around, recovered by Johnson. Olivia Hall comes up with it. Johnson from the deep three-pointer. No good. Recovered Koalas down the court quickly, and they're going to lose possession there as they can't handle the ball, and it touches the out-of-bounds line. Olivia Hall drives, finds an open seam, and can't convert on the layup, but draws the charge, actually. So it'll be Koala's ball. Outside three-point attempt, no good. Rebounded Ellie Graham. Out to Kelsey Johnson. Johnson over to McIntroff, finds the open three, takes it, no good. Rebounded Koalas. Only 3 seniors that Lions are losing this year. 2 big pieces when Katie Farrell and Sydney Neal, and then Yana Kennard, who's been injured this year, will graduate as well. So very optimistic by the future of these Lions as they return a bulk of their lineup. McIntroff with a fancy move underneath, and she's going to be fouled, so she'll go to the line. Student section on their feet. McIntroff will hit the first one. And she'll make the second one. She gets a favorable bounce. .225 remaining in Summers Gymnasium, 83-41 Lions. They will continue their very aggressive defensive play. Missed ball shot there, and that's going to be tipped out of bounds on Stinnett. So Koalas will retain possession. Long pass recovered by the Koalas. Brooklyn Stinnett all over her. She's going to try to drive the lane. She's going to lose it off McInturf's back, and then we're going to have a travel call. That will also be a shot clock violation. So we wind down this game. Olivia Hall passes over to McInturf. She's going to drive, find Hall and Johnson. Johnson shoots. She likes the deep three, and no good on that one. She wants to create space for herself and get open look, and that's what she's done. And great ball movement past the McInturf. Can't convert. Rebounded Koalas. It's going to be a break. We're going to have a foul on McInturf as a Koala had a pretty open lane. Jada O'Brien makes both. That'll be Brooklyn Stinnett underneath. Wants to bounce it back out to Olivia Hall, over to McInturf. Outside to Johnson, over to Stinnett. Stinnett with the three-point shot. No good. Rebound Koalas. A minute left to go. Long-range two-point shot. Good. That's made by LeJane Jalab. And with 48 seconds left to go, Lions are just kind of take their time, slow things down. Outside to Stinnett. Send it over to Johnson. Johnson took one too many steps right there. She tries to, she's not about that long too. She wanted to make sure she was in the three-point range and needed a dribble to get there, but 35 seconds remaining. Jalab with the ball. Over to O'Brien. They're going to just kind of dribble around as the results of this game are inevitable, but Kelsey Johnson will steal that ball as she goes coast to coast with the layup. So 9 seconds remaining. Shot clock's off. Koalas with the ball. Doesn't look like they're in any hurry to take a shot. And they are not, as they're going to concede to the Lions. And Lady Lions have the victory here in Summers Gymnasium today, 85-44 in this AAC contest. Thank you for being with us. Stick around in about 30 minutes. We'll be back with the boys' game and try to make this a sweep over the Columbia Koalas on Lions Live.